It's almost impossible to watch Bluey and not fall in love with this amazing show.
You know what I call this? I call it a good start.
But have you noticed all the little hidden details that appear throughout all the seasons of the Blue Puppy show? For example, at the end of the historic episode The Sign, we see that the new family we mentioned, Winton and the Terriers, is putting their house up for sale. And note that the color of the car the puppies are in is light green. This is the same car that is in the parking lot of the pharmacy in the episode TV Shop and is parked next to Cornelius's car. It also has a sticker representing the mother and her 3 puppies, showing that it really is the Terrier's car. This shows how Bluey's show is full of small hidden details that we can notice if we look closely at its episodes. We know that all the characters in the show are extremely well developed in their smallest details. And one of the most talked about characters in Bluey recently has a very interesting feature that few people have noticed. We're talking about Grandpa Bob, who was missing for a while and ended up returning on his eldest son's wedding day. When we see him as a young man, we notice that he is completely whole. However, when we see him as Grandpa, from the beginning we notice that he has a piece of his ear missing. This means that he probably had some accident during his life, since I believe that Grandma Nana wouldn't have bitten her husband that hard.
That's crazy.
Still talking about small details in the characters' appearances, we notice that the female characters in the show usually don't have longer and more noticeable eyelashes than the male characters, with only a few exceptions, the main one being Bluey and her classmate's teacher, Calypso. We notice that the kindergarten teacher takes very good care of her appearance and likes to have longer eyelashes. Now, speaking of other exceptions, we found out that the longer eyelashes mostly belong to the family of one of Bluey's friends, Coco. This is because Coco, even though she is only 6 or 7 years old, has longer eyelashes, which is probably something natural for the little pink puppy. But she's not the only one in her family with this feature. We noticed this when Bella, the mother of Bluey's childhood friend, shows a photo of her family to Chili in the episode Baby Race. In it, we see that within the pink poodle family, there are 2 more of Coco's sisters who, at the time she was a baby, also had longer eyelashes. This shows that there is a tendency in the family to have this characteristic. Since we mentioned Coco's family, in the same photo we notice that all the members are also pink poodles. And in Bluey, almost 100 different dog breeds have been represented. And the interesting thing about this is that in real life, there are no pink poodles. This indicates that all the dogs of this breed you've seen in real life or on the internet have been artificially dyed. However, in the case of Bella, Coco, and her family, they are originally pink poodles, and all the family members were born with this coat color. After all, it would be a lot of work for Bella herself to dye all her puppies since she had 9 children.
Maybe. Maybe not.
This brings us to another interesting fact. Coco's family is officially the largest in Bluey's history with a total of 11 members. At least, that was the number when the blue puppy was still a baby. If Bella and her husband have more children, this number could very well have increased. Who knows, right? And if you're also rooting for more babies in the next season of Bluey, comment below, #puppies. Speaking again of large families, in second place we have the newly formed family that came from the union of 2 previously separated families. Of course, we're talking about the joining of Cornelius's family and the Terrier's mother. If we count Cornelius and Winton, his only son on one side, and the Terrier's mother and her 3 puppies on the other, we have a total of 6 members. This is assuming the couple doesn't have a new puppy, which could very well happen in future seasons of Bluey. And still on the topic of large families, so far the position of the 3rd largest family is held by the Heeler family. But we're not talking about Bluey and her parents, but the original Heeler family, which consisted of 3 puppies, Stripe, Bandit, and Radley, along with their parents, Nana and Bob, totaling 5 members. Speaking of Cornelius and Winton, we noticed another detail involving their family. In the episode TV Shop, we see the dad picking up the little English bulldog from school. We notice that on the rear window of his car, there's a drawing that looks like a family. But later in the episode, we see his car again parked at the pharmacy, and we can see the sticker better. We notice that there's a child, a male adult, and where another character should be, it looks like it was erased in a makeshift way. This suggests that Winton's parents were already divorced and Cornelius didn't want to scare off potential dates. In fact, many people think it happened earlier, but it was in this same episode TV Shop that the first interactions between the Terrier's mother and Cornelius began. The first significant look between them happens right at the start of the episode when Bandit is taking the girls to the car. And then inside the pharmacy, we see them chatting warmly, indicating that something was definitely going to happen between them at some point. Speaking of mutual loves, let's talk about the most interesting unrequited love in all of Bluey. In the episode Circus, we see that Coco desperately wants Mackenzie to play the role of her husband in the game, which he absolutely does not want to do. During the episode, she even asks Bluey to make poor Mackenzie be her husband. But she doesn't give up, and by the end of the episode, she convinces the puppy, who is completely dizzy from playing, to lie down next to her, and then she is completely satisfied. After that, we never saw Coco try to make Mackenzie her husband again. Maybe she realized that the puppy's heart already belongs to Bluey!
Sorry, Coco, he doesn't want to.
And surely one of the cutest couples in the entire Bluey series is Mia and Captain, whom we meet in the episode Barky Boats. They study in the same class and will be going to another school together soon. What many people haven't noticed is that we can also see them together in other episodes, like at the end of the episode Curry Quest together once again. But this time without their younger friends to, quote-unquote, bother them, if you know what I mean. This indicates that we will probably see more scenes of the couple in future episodes. And if you're also a fan of Bluey and animated shows, subscribe to the channel right now! Returning to the end of Curry Quest, at this moment we can also see some other interesting hidden details that catch our attention. For example, we notice that Pretzel is eating ice cream alone in his little corner, which more than proves that he really prefers to do everything by himself. In fact, the only time we see him playing more actively with the other kids is in the episode Mums and Dads, when he's simulating an invasion of a castle with the terriers. And it seems like he's very good at it, as he manages to knock down the terrier onto the table where Indy was playing it working. In the same scene, the castle invasion game, we notice something quite interesting. The kids are divided into two groups, those protecting the castle and those who will invade, which are the terriers. And when the triplets arrive, we notice an interesting little detail. In the group protecting the castle are Pretzel, Chloe, Honey, and Bluey's friend, the German Shepherd. At this moment, note that Chloe grabs her shield and sword and starts to step back while Honey charges at the terriers. This is a small hidden detail that shows Honey has a bit more of a fearless nature, while it seems Chloe prefers less energetic games. At the end of the episode Curry Quest, we also notice that Jack and Rusty often play Army even on weekends, which is when the fair happens where Mackenzie's mom paints the kids' faces. I think this friendship between the two puppies is really cool. I hope it continues even after Rusty becomes a famous cricket player. In some episodes, we see that Bandit is concerned about his health and appearance, as is clear in the episode Exercise, where he starts working out because he realizes he's not in the shape he'd like to be. And as we know, Bluey episodes are all interconnected in some way, so in some episodes ahead, we see that the Blue Puppy's dad is still feeling like he needs an upgrade, so he goes to buy some vitamins to feel more energetic, showing that the stories do have continuity. Another proof of this is right at the beginning of the same episode when we see Bluey jumping on Bandit's back and Bandit comments that his knees are hurting.
Oh man, my knees!
This might be due to the playtime that happened in the episode Exercise, where the dad, while doing his activities, plays elevator with the girls, lifting both of them using all the strength of his knees until he completely collapses. Seriously, I felt sorry for Bandit's knees in that scene, and that's probably why they're still hurting in the episode TV Shop. Remember we mentioned Bandit was worried about his appearance and health? Well, it seems he's not the only one. We noticed that Cornelius also seems to be working out from time to time. In the same episode we've already mentioned here, where he officially meets the terrier's mother, we see that he buys a supplement that is usually consumed by gym goers. I guess he wanted to get in shape for the terrier's mom. The video is ending now, but it doesn't mean your fun has to stop. That's why we left two great videos on your screen for you to choose and watch right now if you want. See you in the next video then. Agreed?